is a video where this member of the Senate is talking about how the Bible is a essential part of the U.S. country constitution and makeup because it was endorsed and mandated to be in schools, and that's how the Bible came in America. The first English-speaking Bible was because it was endorsed by Congress to be in schools, but then there's a separation of church and state, so and that gave way for everything else to happen. Violence, crime, LGBT thing, other values being pushed and so forth. But the first thing to do that is to separate and to get out God, which is what they did. But he said that the time shouldn't be that way, because they wanted separation of church and state, but not a secular state or not a secular school. As in, the church must not govern, but the rules or the principles of God should play a part. And I tried to do a remix here, as in you just add something and just like have it reposted, but for some reason it didn't repost, and as in it can repost like this without the words. So everything he's saying right here, so the words is there, he's actually speaking, but only the background music or the instrumental come, which I find odd because he's talking about God.
Their corporations control the resources. Africans own their own wealth.
At the same time that John D. Rockefeller seized U.S. media, he also hijacked U.S.
So those are remixes, and those seem to work fine. But when I remix something where it's talking about God and the essential part and how the government was for God, for the Bible in the past, for some reason the audio gone, which is something I find on other social media, even TikTok. On TikTok, when I try to download and save certain videos with messages that's biblical, that's essential, that's a new revelation or something noteworthy that can inspire some kind of change, for some reason there is no save option. So there's something I realize. As the Bible says, is Beelzebub divided? If Satan cast out Satan, will his kingdom not fall? So that's what I understand. Different stroke for different folks, but the world is united and antichrist. Just a different front to find different people of different demographic. The people in the Middle East, they have an essential history tied very closely to Jesus and Bethlehem and Jerusalem. So those are people with religious fervor. So that religious fervor and dedication is mobilized and weaponized in a hostile religion called Muslim that was created by the Jesuits, as confessed by Jesuit priest Albert Rivera. So that just shows. Anyway, I'm going to link the other video after it, which is the original video. The only way I can get it done is to do a screen record, because YouTube or Instagram won't allow the remixing, which is, I think, one of the things that's essential that Trump and his team should be doing, is removing the censorship that the Biden government put in place. Because if you want to see what a world under their draconian Orwellian 1980s system of governance look to places like China, where if it's a certain thing, them lock you up, throw you in one camp, like North Korea, South Korea. We have a social credit score, and things of that nature, and look to UK and Germany, where if it's certain things on social media, call people names or something, any kind of thing that then they bring us come for you 4 o'clock in the morning and throw you in the jail, which I saw a video of that happening recently with this man. He said something wrong on social media, and at 4 a.m. in the morning, police came for him and took him out of the motor and carried him to jail. And he wasn't inciting any violence. He wasn't advocating the murder of anybody or anything like that. But that's where it started from. Another thing it started from is from taking out God out of school and stopping children from beating the kids. Stopping parents from beating the kids. Anyway, I'm gonna link the video and don't want this go too long. So
Well, this is the Bible that came out in 1782. It says, and they, Congress, recommend this edition of the Bible to the inhabitants of the United States. So the first Bible printed in English in America came with the approval, the authorization, the endorsement of Congress. But what's more interesting is Robert Aiken, when he made his petition to Congress on why they should do this, he said, we have a Bible shortage in schools. And then Congress gave an endorsement in the records of Congress. One of the things they agreed to was we needed more Bibles for schools. It was, quote, a neat addition of the Holy Scriptures for the use of schools. Congress not only agreed to approve it, they then endorsed. The reason we have the first Bible in English in America was in part so that we would have it in schools. And I know that there's probably going to be people that would come and testify and say, wait a second, but separation of church and state, you can't have religion in schools. The founding fathers believed in separate institutions, but not secular institutions. The very idea from the Declaration was that there's a God who's given us rights, and government's job is to protect those rights. To pretend like we can't acknowledge God, well, then we're risking losing those God-given rights.